In today's live stream, we got to talk about the Schumann resonance, which is the big thing for today. As you can tell, quite a bit of energy coming in, a lot of energy. So, things have definitely been intense. It is spiking. We did get a massive push earlier, and we did get a nice push just recently. So we're definitely, getting some energy in. We're gonna talk about it. Um, Recent spike was about 32 hertz, which is pretty intense. And of course, what we had earlier was I think around 50 hertz. So, and then we had some more throughout the day. So of course, we're getting so much energy coming in. And you guys know exactly what I'm gonna do. We're gonna get into it and break it down for you guys. And I think we'll be talking about some other things as well, whatever comes to mind, whatever I feel. You know what? I think I know exactly what we need to talk about and expose because it's been bothering me lately. So I'm gonna get this one off the chest because I feel like a lot of people are, waiting for one person to change the world when you can't rely on something external. You gotta rely on something internal because you got to make the change. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's waiting for someone to make the change. You got to get on and move on with your life and really turn off the TV. All right? Turn off the mainstream media if that's what you're still consuming. Hope you guys are doing good. A lot of symptoms as well, a lot of things to talk about. So we're gonna get into this, as we normally do. Um, all right, what should we kick off with? Let's kick off with some solar activity. Oh my goodness, we got a massive solar flare as we're literally recording this. Okay, all right. What should we talk about first? The solar flare, or should we talk about? I'm gonna let that settle down. Let's get into solar activity since it's popping off right now. Then we'll get into earthquakes, and then we'll get into the Schumann, I think. So let's get into this. I hope you guys are all doing great. Joe Sky here, back yet again with another update for you guys. As you can see, looking at our image of the sun right now, this is image 211, which highlights, of course, coronal holes on the sun. As you guys can see, we have multiple coronal holes. Oh boy, this almost fell. Multiple coronal holes on the sun. One in the top right, one in between, one that is and will be transequatorial, one on the southern hemisphere of the sun, and also another one here. We have multiple coronal holes on the sun. These are dark spots on the sun where solar wind can escape freely, heading towards Earth, hitting our magnetic field, and of course that could cause auroras, and that could of course cause technical difficulties, and many people that are weather sensitive can definitely feel something there. And of course, when we have, you know, multiple coronal holes like this one specifically, which is transequatorial, this one is going to be blasting us with some solar winds. We could see active geomagnetic conditions, even a G1 geomagnetic storm. One thing about this coronal hole is the fact that it seems to be stretching out. So on the sun right now, it seems to be stretching out. That's what it does. There's a big pattern that's been going on. It could stretch out. It could even interlap with this coronal hole, causing a pretty big one. And, it could be one that lingers for days, bringing a lot of solar wind towards us. So we have a lot of coronal holes on the sun. And of course, we have a bunch of sunspot regions. Taking a look at those sunspot regions, well, things have quieted down lately, but there is still about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sunspot regions, and some of them are quite active. We'll get into them later. What we did just have is a nice solar flare. We just had a M1.89 being our 24 and 72 hour max. It's a pretty strong solar flare. It's not the most intense like X class and whatnot, but it's still a pretty strong solar flare. It literally just happened within minutes, I'm guessing, 10, 20 minutes. So just had a pretty nice solar flare. We don't know exactly which region it erupted from. Trying to see. We do have, it seems like a potential radio blackout. Trying to think, where would this be? So this is probably like the United States, I think. This could be like Russia. So this could be around there. So we might be having something going on over here. Let's take a look at, so that was solar flare. Talk about the coronal holes. Let's get into earthquakes. So we've been having quite a bit of earthquakes lately, especially in America. And we take a look at all the earthquakes we've had. Not too much for today, but we did have a 5.1 in China. Now in America, here's where it gets a bit interesting. Um, in America, we just had a 3.9. This was pretty pretty recent. Um, so we had a 3.9 earthquake, and let's see where. Okay, that's not actually in America though. But we did have a 3.5 in Covelo, California, and 3.5 in Silver Springs, Nevada. So there's been quite a bit of earthquakes in the United States. And if we take a look at all earthquakes, not just big earthquakes, let's do this. We're talking about almost 200 earthquakes in the United States alone today. So there's been quite a bit of earthquakes, actually. I think more than yesterday, believe it or not. So there's definitely been quite a bit of earthquakes. California definitely gets a lot of earthquakes, even though a lot of them are small. It's still quite a bit though. Um, so there's been, where is this one at? Also, so this one's in Mexico, right underneath San Diego, but had 3.0 in Utah, a 3.1 in Oviedo, Mexico, 3.3 in Grapevine, California, 3.5 Silver Springs, Nevada, and another 3.5 in Cabello, California. I think there was a stronger one recently, but we don't have it. Yes, we did have a 5.2 in Silver Springs, Nevada. So that was really strong. So there's been quite a bit of earthquakes. Now going to our Schumann resonance right now. So yesterday, if you didn't know, we had about a 12 to 13 hour period of highly sustained energy. That was incredibly intense. We had a power 78. For today, and as of recently, around when we were sleeping and we woke up today, May 3rd, we got hit with this big beam of energy. So this one was a, not too quick, wasn't too sustained, but it was about an hour long of just a high stream push of energy that just came in. This one hit about a power 50, if I'm not mistaken. So that was really strong. Then, of course, we had a little bit more energy coming in. This one was sustained for about a couple hours. And just another quick burst, quick vertical spike here. Not too intense, but strong, about a power 30. So pretty strong there. Take a look at the other amplitudes. Amplitude 2, pretty strong actually over here. Really strong over here actually as well. Q1, 2, 3, 4, not too much. And overall, here are numbers. Again, very intense numbers, pretty strong numbers. So you guys, as you guys can see, we got quite a bit of activity going on. So Schumann resonance is not giving up. There's definitely a lot of energy still getting pushed in. We're still blasting through the charts today. We're still blasting through the charts. Yesterday, completely broke the charts. A lot of coronal holes, a lot of sunspots that are active. I still want to know where it came from, that one. I want to know which region it came from, so we pay more attention to that region. There's been quite a bit of earthquakes. Also, there's been a massive volcano. I don't know if you guys know about this. A pretty big volcano in the Philippines. We got to send our prayers there. There's so many people that have just witnessed, some really intense activity. yeah, they've had a pretty big um, volcano over there. So it's been intense. Oh man, if we could find it. Oh my goodness, man. I'm in their advertisements and stuff. Alright, here it is. This is insane. So this was the Mayon, I can't say this right. Mayon volcano in the Philippines. This was insane. So all this, smoke, all this unbelievable smoke and all this energy that erupted from the volcano. This was just wild, honestly. Um, it was a level 3 alert. Um, there was apparently an alert within a 6 kilometer radius. And here's some stuff, unbelievable skies. A lot of people couldn't see anything. Um, they also had 32 volcanic earthquakes that had been recorded within 24 hours. Um, so it's been insane what they went through. Okay. So yeah, so ultimately, of course, there's just been a lot of things happening and whatnot. Um, Overall, there's a lot of things happening everywhere. Best thing we can do is to send our prayers and whatnot. There's a lot of things happening right now. Besides that, of course, symptoms are going to be pretty wild. Everybody's feeling everything we all felt a few days ago. So a lot of people are definitely feeling soreness, muscle aches, something in the back. This has been a big one. Let me know if you've been having some back pain out of nowhere. There's been a lot of people in my family that have been having some pains. Um, a lot of people have been having some back pains. A lot of people have been having soreness, nausea. This has been huge. Nauseous has been like so common the last few days. Um, Not having any appetite, feeling like you're sick or something, tired, out of it. The list really goes on. It's been pretty wild and intense. Best things you guys could do, ground your energy as much as you can, or get a grounding mat, or get all those electrolytes. You know, electrolytes are going to be important. Um, you might have to change your diet up. I've been changing mine up, which is, you know, not not usual, but yeah, you got to change it up. It's been pretty wild lately. Hmm. Let me know how's everyone been doing. It's good to have you here in the stream. I'm seeing some people curse me out. Not sure why. I haven't done anything. And then I'm not seeing the other comments of yes, you are having back pain and stuff like that. Apparently, I'm not seeing those comments. I'm seeing people say "shut the fuck up" to me, which is not nice. But I am seeing that. I haven't said anything but reported data and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's yeah, whatever. But I hope you're doing good though, Sherry. I hope you're still in the stream. I don't know if it crashed or whatnot, but yeah. Yeah, it was probably because it was removed or something. Um, that's good. I hope you're doing good. I hope you guys are doing good in the stream. Hope everybody's doing pretty good. Let me know what everyone is. What's everyone been up to, man? But yeah, that's pretty much our data. All right. I don't know if I want to talk about that part right now. I don't think it's worth talking about right now. But I'll change it up. I'm gonna change it up. I was gonna talk about something, but I've changed my mind. So what I will say instead is, don't wait on someone outside of you to change the world. Instead, you are what you've been waiting for this whole time. Because a lot of people are waiting for someone, one person. Some of you probably know who that is, and they're waiting for this person who works in the office, the government, to change everything. You have to make changes yourself as well. Can't just rely on one person to do everything. Um, and ultimately, of course, you have to make the changes. You can't rely on one other person. Nothing outside of you is going to change anything internal within you. So, if you're going to be waiting for someone, that's what you're going to do, and let them change everything and knock down gas prices and whatever it is, which a lot of people are waiting for. They're waiting for that. They're waiting for something outside. They're waiting for one person to make the change for the whole world. This is what's going on right now, right? This is what's being dragged out. They're waiting for one person in office to change everything, when you have to make the changes yourself. You have to start working on yourself. You have to start making the changes on yourself. Everybody is waiting for something outside of them to happen, outside of them to change, when they have to be the change. So this is for a certain group of people that don't make any change within themselves. They wait for something to happen. Most of us have been through hard times and have struggled and are disciplined. We make changes right now. We don't wait until something outside of us. We get it done. But a lot of people are waiting for something outside of them to change, when in reality, things have to start changing from within. So yeah, hopefully that helps out. Hope you guys are doing good. That was pretty much our big energy update for everyone out there. Hope that helps out. Um, Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.